Come on. Good morning, traders. Welcome to the market color for the third week of the month of July. Today is 21st of July 2025, and we're excited to have you all here during this market color. My name is CJ, and I'm going to be taking you through the first part of the market color, where we're going to be looking at the dollar index. We'll be looking at GBP USD. We're going to also be looking at Euro USD, and then we're going to be looking at gold against the dollar. Then we'll proceed to looking at the yen basket and the yen pairs like GBP JPY and Euro JPY. This is the market color brought to you by yours truly, Value Flow Trading Team. Without further ado, we're going to move straight into the chart as we start off with the dollar index. Now, looking at the dollar index, remember a couple of days ago, we said that we're looking to see the dollar index trade into this point of interest somewhere around here. And you can see how that just played out to the last pip, to the center of this place where we marked dollar index traded, and now it has started selling. And right now, we're believing that the sell on the dollar index is resuming at the moment. So we could be seeing further sales to the downside. Now let's move over to the 4-hour time frame. Right, on the 4-hour time frame, we could also see that all the volume imbalances that we marked out has been filled up. Each and every one of them was filled up while the dollar index was making its move to the upside. All right, and then still on the 4-hour time frame, you can see that there is an order block right here that the dollar index has traded into, and now it is selling to the downside. If we move to the 1-hour time frame, we'll see the exact point that we labeled for the dollar index to get to before selling. Now, on the 1-hour time frame, you can see that this breaker block right here was our point of interest for the dollar index. We wanted to see the dollar index straight into this breaker block and then start selling. And as you can see, it has done just that. And right now, it is selling off from that particular point. So at this moment, we're looking to see further sales on the dollar index to the downside. We are resuming bearishness on the dollar index to the downside. So if you look from the weekly time frame, we've been in a sell trend. On the daily time frame, we had a brief retracement, quite deep if you look at it carefully. Then on the 4-hour time frame as well, you see that we had this shift all the way to the upside, making the daily retracement. And now that the retracement has been concluded, we're expecting sell-off to the downside. So we'll see price coming to take out all this liquidity it's created on its way to the upside, okay? So that is what we're looking out for on the dollar index. This is where we want to see price trade into on the dollar index moving into the remaining part of this week. Now let's move over to GBP USD and Euro USD so that we can see possible trades that we can take in line with what we have analyzed on the dollar index. Now, seeing that the dollar index is resuming its downtrend rather, we're expecting Euro USD to also resume its uptrend. Now you can see that Euro USD gave a very short retracement and now it's gearing up for another move to the upside. If you look at it on the daily time frame as well, you see that it has made this retracement all the way here, filling up this fair value gap around here on the daily time frame. And now it is making its move back to the upside. So this is what we're expecting to happen on the daily time frame. Now on the 4-hour time frame also, we saw that the dollar index has given that decent retracement. At least if you had measured it, you see that price came all the way to a discount level and it's set for another pull to the upside. Okay, so it's sold all the way to around 61.8. Right now, it's getting ready for a push back to the upside. Now, if you can see, a lot of liquidity was created all the way here. You can ignore this move because of, I think, the CPI news that came out on Tuesday. All right, so you can see that this liquidity has been created. Price is going to come and sweep all these levels. All right, we're expecting price to go ahead and to sweep all those levels on its way to the upside. So for Euro USD, from what we're seeing so far, we're expecting a buy move to the upside on Euro USD. Now, if you look at it on the 1 hour time frame, you would also notice that price is still making that move as well to the upside. Right now, we can start looking out for possible trades to take for the day. Now, let's switch to the 15 minutes time frame to find trades for the day. Now, looking at the 15 minutes time frame, price is already in a very good place to buy. So right now, what I'll be doing, if I were you, I'll be looking for an entry signature. So I'll be looking for engulfing candles to the upside on 15 minutes or on 5 minutes time frame. Or I can be looking out for the morning star pattern. All right, if you don't know any of these, you can just quickly check Google and type morning star pattern or engulfing candles. So you look for either of the two for a buy case, and then we'll be taking it to the upside. So I'm looking out for any of these two to play out, and then I'll be buying Euro USD. So I'm looking for a buy on Euro USD right now. Once I see any of these two patterns printing out, I'll trigger my buy and then ride it all the way to the upside. Now, if we're buying Euro USD, the first point of call will be for price to sweep out this liquidity here. And then afterwards, we'll be targeting the next one, which is somewhere around 1.17494. So once I'm taking my entry, and possibly I'll send it to the Telegram group so that we all can take advantage of it as well. But just have it in your mind that we're looking for a buy on Euro USD this morning, okay? So you can start seeing something like this already forming. And when this candle closes properly, we might even trigger our buy from where price currently is, right? So while that is playing out, let's also look at GBP USD and run our quick analysis on GBP USD. Now for GBP USD, we're expecting that price is going to, on the daily time frame, on the weekly time frame rather, you can see that price came all the way to the downside, all the way to this 100% price point to show that it made a complete and total retracement to the downside before pushing back upwards. Now on the daily time frame as well, you can see that price resumed all the way from here and then it is pushing back to the upside. So I'm very excited to see how GBP USD is going to be buying during this period because it is one that retraced the most. Okay, so we can get rid of this, seeing that price has gotten to our point of interest. We can get rid of this and start looking for a good buy on GBP USD. All right, now on the 1 hour time frame, GBP USD also looking good for a buy. At this point, I'll just wait for a little retracement and then I'll be taking my buy to the upside on GBP USD. So where will I want to see a retracement to? I want to see a retracement to this place right here on GBP USD. Okay, the moment price trades into this level here, I'll be taking my buy to the upside. So from somewhere like this. Okay, so I can maybe have a 20 pips stop loss because I'll be looking for a lot of profits on this GBP USD trade. So 20 pips stop loss, and then we are riding it all the way up here because there are lots and lots of places that would be looking to exit. But then I want to exit on the high of last week. That is my first target. The high of last week is the first target for a GBP USD buy, and the high of last week was somewhere here. Okay, so I'll put my take profit a little shy, a few pips shy from the high of last week. So this is my bias on GBP USD. I want to take a buy, but this is where I want to take the buy from. Okay, so we can have this saved so we can come back to it later on. All right, so this is GBP USD and this is what I'm looking out for on GBP USD. So I'll just do a quick recap so that we can proceed with gold and then the other pairs. Now, I said earlier that the dollar index has resumed, is looking to have resumed itself, having traded into our point of interest from the 4 hour and 1 hour time frame. We're looking to see it resume the sell to the downside. Now, we also said that Euro USD as well, while the dollar index is resuming a sell to the downside, Euro USD is looking ready to resume its buy back to the upside. So we're looking for buys on Euro USD. And right now, it's in a good place to buy. So we're just looking for entry signatures to print out, or let's call it candlesticks patterns to print out, and then we'll be taking our buy on Euro USD. And then lastly, on GBP USD, we said we want to see price trade into this point of interest right here because of this order block. And then we'll be taking our buy all the way to the upside once price enters into this level. So these are the things that I'm looking out for this morning. And I'm hoping that they'll all play out according to what we've analyzed so far. We're going to go on a very short break for about 30 seconds. And when we return, we'll continue analysis looking at gold against the dollar and the yen basket, as well as one or two other yen pairs, okay? So sit tight and enjoy the rest of the market color as we proceed with the analysis for today.
Hello, good morning, everyone, and welcome back to the Market Caller brought to you by the Value Flow Trading Team. So this morning, that was a very great insight from CJ for the dollar index and also the dollar correlated pair. Right about now, we'll be going straight into the precious metal, and from there, we'll be heading straight to Japan to see what is going on the yen basket. Then we'll round it off with the other yen correlated pair like GBP, Euro GPY and AUD GPY, and we are going to see the insight of what we should look out for in the course of the week, and at the same time trade opportunities that we can easily follow through. All right, just stay back as we move on right now. So starting with the precious metal, particularly from the weekly time frame, we've established the path for a long while now that we are very much bullish. If you look at the trend, as you can see on the screen, this trend is overall bullish. However, for some weeks now, we've been in a consolidation. Price has been resting after this large expansion to the upside. So we've been in a consolidation, and this becomes much more obvious on the daily time frame. As you can see, price is in a consolidation state. And what we do in a consolidation state is either we watch out to see where price is going to break into the next, or better still, when price comes to the direction where we can easily trade in line with the overall move of the market, then we can easily follow through that way. All right. So on the daily time frame, once again, we are still in a consolidation state. And when we are in a consolidation state, we look for opportunity to join the real direction of the market, which is a buy. So that is telling us that we should look out more for buy opportunities in the market. Now, for the 4-hour time frame, we are going to observe for the 4-hour time frame, we are also in a consolidation state on the 4-hour. Since the April of this year, we've been in a consolidation state, and you can see everywhere is still within the range. But the best thing we do in the range is we go to our lower time frame to trade the lower part of the range to the upside, meaning look for buy opportunities on the low part of the range, meaning the discount price of the range that we buy all the way back up. So our projection for this week still remains that I want to see our price rally all the way into this P level here, which is this other block, and just above it we have a fair value gap, meaning if we are most likely to see price tap into this fair value gap that we have around 3431 or 3432 level, then we can begin to see sell from that level to the downside. That is why we make some warnings last week Friday. People who are still trying to sell gold at the discount of a range is very, very deadly. So you don't do that. Just wait and see how that price, make the next decision move on the overall trend, which is still a buy. So instead, we look more for a buy opportunity, which that is more of a high probability setup than a sell in a ranging market when the overall direction still remains a buy. Now, if we go to the 1 hour time frame, where exactly are we heading to on the 1 hour time frame? As at CPI release, we see our price came to take out liquidity at this level. And if we are to follow our boss pattern, our boss strategy, we've seen how after this sweep of this level, this particular low was taken out on Thursday, and we see how price broke that low to the downside of this particular place. So we now begin to see price moving ahead of it. But the overall move that we are still looking out for on the 4 hour is telling us that we are still bullish, confirming our weekly daily bias. Now on the 1 hour time frame too, even though we are seeing some bit level of market structure shifted to the downside, but price is still very much more interested in moving to the high side. So I would advise you go to the lower time frame, look for opportunity that is in line with the overall higher time frame, then we can easily trade in line with that. Knowing fully well that the lower time frame makes up the higher time frame, however, the higher time frame controls the lower time frame. So when we go to the lower time frame, which is 15 minutes, we are going to observe that everywhere is still very much bullish all the way to the upside. And where we were expecting price to pull back into on Friday for us to buy was this particular shoulder here. That is a structure within structure. So we can see the shoulder here after this sweep. You see the massive break. So we are expecting that price should pull back all the way into this point and we begin to buy all through. But as at the market open, we see that price was just a bit to the downside and begin its rally all the way to the upside. So what is now our conclusion on the precious metal for this week is that we look forward more to buy opportunities until price get to our 4-hour POI for the sell. That's when we consider the sell valid. But if not, any sell right now seems more like a liquidity grab, just to grab liquidity and continue its way. So we are expecting price to pull back all the way into this particular zone. Now, I see someone send a note last weekend that yes, he has been looking for opportunity to short gold. Yes, if you see any structure lower than 15 minutes, is not really that much advisable for the precious metal. Instead, wait and get the real move and follow it all the way down. So what I'm expecting us to see is that price, pull back all the way into this 15-minute shoulder, and we can begin to buy from there all the way to the upside again for the precious metal. All right, so that is that for the precious metal. Let's quickly get to Japan to see what is going on the yen basket. For the yen basket on the weekly time frame, we've seen much more clearly that price is still trying to pull back. Since last week, we said our bias for last week is a sell, and we can see the last week candle, which happens to be a sell trade also. So this week, we still expect more of the sell, even though there is going to be a little bit pullback, like price coming to tap into this fair value gap with this, making it a flip zone, meaning we are most likely to see price just retrace a little bit, just the way we are seeing at the open of the market, that price may likely come into this fair value gap, then begin its pullback to clear this move and begin its move all the way back up. So this is what we are looking out for the yen basket in the course of the week. And if this is what is going to play out for the course of the week for yen basket, we are most likely to see a sell to buy for the yen correlated pair, meaning as yen basket pulls a little bit up for the completion of its sell, then we are going to see the yen basket, the other yen correlated pair, sell a little bit and buy before the massive sell that we're waiting for. But our overall bias still remains that price should still come a little bit down here, then we start the long just the way we did here sometimes last year, this particular month last year. All right, so on the daily time frame for the yen basket, everywhere still remains the same. We've seen how the price is still edging all the way down for it to come and grab the liquidity that remained here and tap proper into our fair value gap that we saw on the weekly time frame. So the next move that we are expecting on the yen now is for it to just pull a little bit back and continue itself to the downside, and we can easily follow. So if that is what we are seeing on the yen basket, the yen correlated pair starting with GBP JPY, we already analyzed that, make a very good levels that we are looking out for on GBP JPY is that for it to buy all the way into this reference point that we have here, this fair value gap here. Remember, a few weeks ago, we were expecting price to come and take out this liquidity. And last week, we saw our price did exactly the same thing. Sometimes on Thursday, our price cleared that liquidity. And now we are expecting price to trade all the way into this daily fair value gap. And we begin to see the massive sell-off. Friday we saw some level of sell signature in the market on Friday after price took out this liquidity point. We're expecting price to pull back to the downside. But Friday for all yen pairs was a very testing day because everywhere was very quiet. The market was just ranging after giving a sell signature. But at the open of the market today, we saw how the market collapsed to the downside and now trying to pull back up. Well, you are going to see that much clearly on the 1 hour time frame for GBP JPY. We see this was the level where everyone was waiting for the sell of GBP JPY and price was consolidating all through before the close of the market. And at the open of the market, saw our price, dropped to the downside, which was as a result of the fundamental news that came out on the yen basket yesterday evening, Sunday evening, and this morning again we've seen the sell-off again, and now price is trying to push to the upside. So let's go to our lower time frame to look at what exactly is going on. But before we go, if you observe the 1 hour time frame of GBP JPY, you are going to see that we are in a very strong consolidation. Although we are in a buy trend, but this range is very, very wild since the last almost 2 weeks now, from the 7th of July, which is on Monday, 2 weeks ago, and up to date, price is still within that range. So what exactly are we looking out for? For our boss strategy, I'm going to advise this is where we'll be willing to buy GBP JPY, this low here, because we can see this is a shoulder, this is a sweep, and we've seen a break that takes out this particular high here. So we are expecting that price should pull back a little bit more to this down part, then we can easily buy after price takes out this liquidity point here. So the moment price takes out this liquidity point, we are looking for opportunity to buy the GBP JPY all the way back up. But right now, price is still in a very sell move because of our analysis on Friday. We begin to sell somewhere after price took out liquidity here, and we're expecting price to sell all the way to take out this liquidity point again, and we begin to buy back to the upside. So that is the insight for GBP JPY. But on the 15-minute time frame, if we want to look at how we can easily, sell all the way to this point, I would advise the market already move. It wastes a lot of time on Friday consolidating, but at the open of the market, we see our price collapse to the downside and pull back again. Now price is pushing all the way back down. So I would advise we just wait for price to complete its move, taking out this liquidity point, particularly this one, tapping into this other block, or even taking out this low, then we can begin to buy back up. And where are we buying to? We are buying into our daily time frame POI, which is this fair value gap. So that is our analysis for GBP JPY for today, and also towards the end of the week, if not for that. And lastly, for Euro JPY, we are going to observe for Euro JPY too. We look at it from the daily time frame. What we're waiting for Euro JPY is for it to come and take out this liquidity here, which price did, and at the same time tap into the same reference that we are seeing on the GBP JPY. That's for Euro JPY. Now, you can see the fair value gap with an order block on the daily time frame. And this is also confirming the move we are seeing on the yen basket, that if the yen basket is going to first sell to the downside, we expect EUR GPY, GBP to buy all the way to this POI. Then the moment the yen basket begins to buy, we want to start selling EUR GPY and GBP. So this is the move for EUR GPY. We are still expecting it to trade into that level. But right now, on the 4-hour time frame, we've seen that yes, price is still very much bullish. We should look for opportunity to join the buy. But where the real buy move is still a little bit below. Friday too was also a sell day for EUR GPY. All the yen pairs, they've been consolidating so far. So that is why we have a very long move, and at the open of the market, they all collapse to the downside for it to move. So where exactly are we still expecting EUR GPY to sell into before the continuation of the buy? I'm expecting EUR GPY to come all the way to this low, then we look for opportunity to buy from this low all the way back up again for EUR GPY. Okay, on the 15-minute time frame, what is the now trade if we are going to see any for EUR GPY? For EUR GPY on the 15-minute time frame, I'm not seeing any clear move until price gets to our POI on the daily time frame. And as we all know, today is Monday. We are most likely going to see a very quiet move in the market all through today, because from the resumption of the New York session, that's when we may now begin to see some quick, volume in the market again into tomorrow, Tuesday. But the overall move that we are expecting on all this pair is we want to sell the yen and buy the yen correlated pair until we begin to see the resumption of the bullish trend on the yen pair itself, which is going to tell us to start selling the yen correlated pair again. So that is going to be all for the markets color session. If there's any question, you can easily type in the chat box and we address it there before we call it a day. So please touch gold again. You can easily rewatch the session again on the precious metal. It's always on our YouTube page. Whenever you miss any of it, you can easily get it on our YouTube page. What our bias for gold is, we are expecting price to pull back a little bit more to this 15-minute POI. Then we can easily start buying from there all the way to the upside. So that is our bias for it. Yeah, someone said, please, can you share setup on Telegram? Definitely so. All right, we'll definitely do that. This week, watch out for that. Watch out for that this week. When our setup begins to, pull up, we'll definitely share it on the Telegram page. All right, so that is it. That's where we are looking out to get it from. This is where we are buying gold from. This is where we are buying gold from. So you can easily just watch the YouTube page. The video will be uploaded on the YouTube page. We are also streaming live there, so you can easily watch again if you miss any part of the session and get the key of it. And once again, remember the Traders Bootcamp is coming up in the city of Abuja on the 2nd of August 2025. So let's register for the event, because we are taking a very limited number of people, which is just 200. Register for the event and confirm your availability at the event to serve your seat. So we meet again by 2 p.m. in the afternoon for the New York recap. Make sure you trade cautiously and use your proper risk management strategy. I'm Lekon sharing. Cheers and God bless.